Major history for Rutgers. Never had a top 5 draft pick in their program history. They have 2 tonight. Dylan Harper at 2, Ace Bailey at 5 to the Utah Jazz, the 15th college duo selected in the top 5 in the modern draft era. Harper set the Rutgers freshman scoring record with 564 points. Bailey, not far behind him, scored 527 points in his 1 season in Piscataway. As you take a look at the last 5 selections, Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, both the super freshmen from Rutgers. And how about this, Adam Finkelstein? Ace Bailey to the Utah Jazz. Maybe he was hoping to go to Washington and play for the Wizards.
Is right. And like we said, you don't play chicken with the Angels because you're going to lose. And his camp just lost. I give this an A, an enthusiastic A. Ace Bailey is, in my opinion, a top 3 prospect in this class. His upside is significant. His agency, his representation, he did not work out in Utah. They presumably didn't want to be there. Utah was not going to get bullied. They took the best prospect on the board. That is a process that deserves an A. And in Utah in particular, we know Austin Ainge ran his first draft there. The other thing we were told is that he was not going to be held accountable for previous decisions. Utah took Cody Williams last year. This is a little bit redundant, but Cody Williams did not deliver that immediate return, even though we knew there were going to be some growing pains that anybody expected last year. This is an indication that Ace Bailey is going to go in and have an opportunity to make an immediate impact. And I think in the long run, this could work out very, very well for the Jazz.
I like what Utah did here. In other words, just believing in their evaluation and not letting anything interfere with that. Like Fink said, most people, himself included, had Ace Bailey projected as a top 3 pick in this draft for basically the whole past year. And that only changed really in the past week or so. But the evaluation should have never changed on him. He's still the same prospect you had graded a certain way. So you're going to pass on him for an inferior prospect because why? His advisor doesn't want him there? Ace Bailey's very young. I bet he can be happy pretty much anywhere. You just got to get him there, build the thing around him, and hopefully he can tap into that potential that makes him one of the more intriguing prospects available.
I don't know. I guess I'd rather say I'm a top 5 pick than the slip sliding down the draft because I didn't go and work out for special teams. I mean, if you're a top 5 pick, you're a top 5 pick. And Avery, a lot of responsibility comes with being a top 5 pick. Ace Bailey going to go to Utah. How would you coach him? How are you going to welcome him to the community? Because maybe he didn't want to go there, but now he's headed there.
I think this is a terrific pick for the Utah Jazz. This is an early Christmas present, whether they celebrate Christmas in Utah or not. But this is a great pick for them. This is a great pick for them. They need guys that can come in and play from day one. This team has been set back for years. Obviously, Danny Ainge's son now is running the show in terms of this draft. This was his first real draft. One of my former players, Colin Sexton, you know, his name has been in the news. We'll see if he's going to remain on this roster. But they need guys that can come in. This kid is ready to go. Obviously, he's got to become a much better free throw shooter, be able to extend his range to the pro NBA. But his size, his athletic ability, this team, the Utah Jazz, they got to find a path forward back to the playoffs. This team has been down for so many years. This kid could have easily fallen to the Washington Wizards. But again, they took the best player available, and I'm really excited about this draft pick for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, I mean, the Jazz were hoping to have the #1 overall pick. This was a team that had an awful record last season, one of the worst in the NBA, and they were hoping to potentially get Cooper Flagg. They get Ace Bailey. That's a pretty good consolation prize at 5 overall here.
Well, and it goes back 3 years when Danny Ainge first arrived, and he traded away Donovan Mitchell, and he traded away Rudy Gobert for some bites at the apple to try and get a star. They have not landed on the star yet. I think that's why they brought in Austin Ainge, someone to truly concentrate and quarterback this draft process. And in this decision, I think I do believe they have a chance of getting a star in Ace Bailey, and I'm not sure there was another player on the board that has the same upside.
And that's exactly right. And you start talking about all the buzzwords connected to prospects, upside, potential. Let's throw Cooper Flagg in a category by himself, but sure, Ace Bailey would be next in terms of if everybody who was available tonight maximizes what they can be as a basketball player. Ace Bailey, if he gets there, it can be as good as anybody other than Cooper Flagg, and I wouldn't even rule out him actually, competing for scoring titles and stuff like that. But he has a long way to go before we get there. He's a flawed prospect, but one that's got incredible potential.